do it. Dreams don't come true. You have to make the dreams to, and so on and so on. But the question is, do actually people believe in what they are saying? Or do actually people do what they are teaching to do? So I can assure you that what you will see today, everything was tested by myself. So it's not taken from particularly from webinars and so on, and I'm not taking it from everybody else. I'm personally giving a couple of tips, and also like you to know that I really believe in ability to make yourself strong mentally, because I know where I was 12 years ago. When I finished for 70, I was destroyed, believe me or not, but mentally I was destroyed. I quit sailing for half a year. I wasn't sailing for half a year. I actually thought that's finished. I'm not going to be continuing. But then I approached good people, and I felt in my heart that I really want to continue. So I did try, but that was the moment when I actually realized that if I want to perform as a man, as a human being, and as a sportsman, what's inside, it really matters. It makes a big difference. So what is mental toughness? What is mental strength? It's ability to make mistakes and learn from them. Its ability to stay positive and composed at all time. Composed, it's a word which means you don't feel too much stress. I mean, stress is there, emotions are there, but you are still able to comprehend them. So you're able to work under pressure. Do not get distracted by mistakes and fight even if the odds are against you. It's also an ability to perform during competition at your highest capable level. In other words, to transfer your training performance completely to regatta performance. It's also ability to remain at a stable level of confidence. So I feel good with myself, I believe in myself, and I strongly believe in my own worth. Its ability to close yourself inside the zone, so inside a moment, to be feeling what actually is happening around you. It's not easy, believe me. It's not easy to do. It's not easy to hear, not easy to feel everything if you actually don't work on it. Stay focused on processing information regardless of the obstacles. Its ability to stay flexible when facing challenges and adapt when adversity strikes, From my experience, people don't know when it happened, and sometimes people don't actually know what's going on, but that flexibility is very crucial for your mental strength. Because if you like to have a plan, right? I was the same. I wrote my plan for the day, and then something big happened. So there was a big change of the plan, and I actually got frustrated. I felt like, no way, I had it so perfectly planned, and now it changes. So it got me frustrated, and it's wrong. It's bad. If you have that feeling, you need to work on it. You need to get more flexible so you can quickly adapt. So you stick with your plan as it is possible, as you're capable of, but you also adapt the path, whatever happens during a day. And last, mental strength is ability to communicate with your teammate regardless the struggle and stress. Many things, but all of them are there, and all of them, you approach them not only in sailing, not only in sport life, but also everyday duties. Next slide, please. Mistakes. If you heard me talking previously, I think you know me, that I try to be positive. I try to stay, when I'm explaining things, I try to focus on the good things, because the bad things are easy to point. The bad things, if you go to the left, we discussed that. If you go to the left-hand side of the course on the race, and left is wrong, right? So for me as a coach, it's easy to say, why did you went to the left? Right was better. But it's not the way how you should be trying to go all along, all the way. Still, mistakes are happening, and it's good to learn from the mistakes. So it's not to stick with them too much. It's not to talk only about mistakes, but if you don't talk about them at all, you will not learn. So we all make them. Everybody make mistakes, and it's during a day when you're making exam, when you're going to work, you may make a mistake by going a little bit too late, or you may make a mistake by taking a wrong bus, right? So all mistakes we do in life are for something. Some of them are not like completely not relative, and you don't have to actually stick to them. But if you want to improve as a sailor, as a sportsman, you should be thinking about mistakes, at least in the way that they happened. So what can I do to not to repeat them? So it's good when you learn from them. We should act to avoid repeating them. That's important. So thinking about mistake is not about getting frustrated, like, oh my goodness, I did that mistake. It's more about, okay, I did it. So now I will think about a process, how to make it happen, that next time that mistake is not there. Always acknowledge them. Don't lie to yourself. So don't find excuses. Don't say it happened because I thought. No, my mistake, I did it. And by doing it, by learning to take it on your chest, you'll feel more confident. Because if you are not able to tell to your parent, to your friend, for example, you borrowed your friend 200 rupees, and you were supposed to give him back those 200 rupees in a week. In a week, you meet your friend, and he's asking you, mate, where's my 200 rupees? And it's like, oh my God, I forgot. And then you are making a story. Oh, but I forgot because I was busy, I had so much work. And no, it's not the way. The story is not important. The fact is, you made a mistake, you forgot to give back 200 rupees to your friend, even though you were supposed to, and you said you will. So take it on your chest, that's your mistake, and then next time, learn from it. So next time, write it in your phone, write it in your notebook, make some change to try to avoid that mistake. So then when the 5th day comes, there is like alert, ding, 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 you have to give back 200 rupees, and you will give it. Mistake is learned, right? Don't be afraid to talk about them. You should be actually able to talk about mistakes. So if you can take it on your chest, it's going to be easier for you to chat about it. Don't feel guilty or pity. Again, everybody make mistakes, so don't worry about it. Confront them. It's also taking the mistakes and learning from them, taking them on the chest. Share them. Saying it loud will help you get through them. So actually, because sometimes bad things happen, or you make those mistakes and you're like trying to wash them. You don't actually see them. You don't actually talk about them, or you don't acknowledge them. It's bad. It's wrong. You should be able to see what you're doing wrong and what's good. Next slide, please. Positivity and composure. So you're calm. How good you can react to things. So uncontrolled high stress amount, is it during a day or in racing, narrows your vision, destroys your focus, increases number of bad decisions, decreases observation capacity, disturbs team communication. It's particular in racing. Plus, embrace it as with mistakes. Learn to understand it. Neural, so the brain process, network reaction to encountered situation are inevitable. So they're gonna happen. If you are approaching a stressful situation, your emotions will be there. You don't have to throw them away. They are gonna be there. So take them, embrace them. Accept them, accept that emotions are and always will be a part of you. You don't need to throw them away. If you approach them well, they can be of use to you. How? It's easy. Example below. Controlled stress. So if you feel emotion on the water, right? You at some part of the race you made a mistake, so it's a little bit uncomfortable. You felt you lost some points, but you can actually stay positive, you can stay composed, and then suddenly that a little bit amount of stress is just sharpening your mind. So now the controlled stress may sharpen your focus, cancel mind dullness. So you're not going to be, you're going to actually feel more, and you're going to see also better what's happening around. Boost your physical reaction by increasing the amount of adrenaline. Stress spikes the adrenaline normally, so it can actually allow you to work better physically. Remember that bad emotions sometimes may trigger good emotions. Like bitterness may trigger motivation, right? If you are a little bit upset, if you look into the mirror and you see that your body shape is not good, so you're feeling bad, right? You're feeling, I should be more physically fit. But it doesn't have to be that you're actually going down, you're not like getting depressed, because that can be reaction. And in a consequence, you can actually feel, okay, that's the time. Okay, now I'm gonna go, I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna get my body in better shape from today on, start, right? So it's motivation. Pain can bring satisfaction. So you are running in the morning, right? And you have that last 2 kilometers and your coach is screaming, go, 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 faster, faster. So suddenly you feel that all your body is very tired, you feel pain and so on. But when you finish, you actually feel a relief, right? You're like, yes, I did it. You have that joy, you have that happiness from making it happen. The same for the race. If you push very hard and then you cross the finish line, you will be happy because you did the job. Well done. And sadness may end up with joy. The same, where we discussed that. So whatever happens, try to enjoy your chosen path. So whenever you go through life, try to enjoy what you do. Remember to smile and cherish the smallest things. Stay vigorous and positive to overcome obstacles and accomplish your goals. I know it's easy to say, harder to make, but still, it's still worth trying. It's still worth smiling. It's still worth being positive and going through life with a bit more of a smile than sadness. Share good vibrations with others. Karma shall be returned. That's my personal belief as well. Meditate a lot to get to know yourself, to get deep within, to know your stuff, to hear your thoughts. Because when you're very busy in life and you don't pay attention to yourself, you may not know what's happening. So your physical body will become stronger with a healthy mind, and so easy. Everybody will tell you that. Okay, next slide, please. This is something I was working on for quite a long time, and I think it's the first time I'm going to tell you that. Some of you already heard me speaking about mental strength before. Changing your words, so changing how you speak. Excuse me. Word replacement to receive credit for achievements. Instead of excuses, find solutions, ask the right questions. So I need to make it short and straight. In other words, I want you to start taking credit for your achievements. You have an example. I was able to win a competition. So when you say I was able to, you are saying actually that you had luck, some things happen and somehow you managed. And by saying that, you are not actually taking credit like fully. You are not responsible for your success. So I encourage you to say, my hard work paid off. I have beaten my opponents and won that competition. The same you can say about exam, right? I somehow managed. Oh, I was so lucky. But then you spend 2 weeks of learning, you spend 2 weeks of preparing for the exam, and then you will finish that 2 weeks by saying, oh, I was lucky. No, no, you should say, I have learned enough and I've passed it. So change maybe for sure. I will try. I shall do. It shall be done. I will make it happen. Like how many times you hear from your friend, from your um, whoever it is around, oh yeah, I will try. I will, yeah, I will try. And then it's small obstacle, and that person is already trying to avoid it. So try to think, I will do it. Whatever happens, I will make it. I will crush that ice. I will get that obstacles aside, and I will get it done. It boosts your confidence. It's good. It's actually helping. It may help you in difficult. Sometimes like those thoughts here are also I've learned them and I heard them from doctors, professors, and people who actually work for their entire lives in psychology. So I like to repeat one of the talks of my Polish professor when he's saying that parent, for example, right? When parent is giving advices or like praising his kid, he should use words, well done, good job, you did it. So the kid or you as a person older, if you that's whatever you do in life. Like if you have a good business, right? If you run business, so you shouldn't be saying to your friend, child, whatever, oh, you were lucky, you got money now, or your business just boom, hey, you're so lucky. No, you are not lucky. That was your idea. You made it through. You believed in it. And all that happens now is because you actually made your effort. So how can we say, like, you were lucky, whatever? No, it's our own effort, our own work. Next slide, please. Daily energy bar. We discussed that as well. I will repeat it again. In sports, you need to, especially in sport, because during the day you don't have to worry about it, because you will have enough energy to go through the day. And even if you feel a little bit upset, sorry, if you feel a little bit unenergetic, if you feel a little bit loose or lazy, it's good. But if it happens during regatta, and it will impact your focus, right? It will impact your thinking. It will impact your performance on the water. So you don't want to have that happen on the water, particularly during the racing day. So daily energy bar for sportsmen, you have to be aware of the longevity. So how much your bar lasts for. So if you wake up in 8 in the morning and then you will use your bar till 8 p.m., can you actually make it? Or because your energy bar is very short, you have it like for maximum 4 hours. So you should actually be very, very calm, very, very almost like sleepy till the moment when you actually start to use the bar, 4 hours of racing, and then again, boom, done. It depends on individual personality, and it can be extended. We should learn not to waste it. So I've given you a story previously that my psychologist told me I'm a very positive, open person. I'm approaching people, I'm saying, hi, hello, yeah, how are you? How can I help you? And so on. And he approached me and said, Tom, during the regatta, if you wake up and you are shaking hands, saying fist bumps with everybody around you, so you're actually giving away your energy. So when the racing comes, when 12 o'clock comes and you are starting to race, so you're already less with the energy. And because energy is transferable, so you can transfer your energy to someone else's energy. And you don't have to agree with the energy potential, whatever. It's not about that. It's just that we actually wake up and we have that energy in every day, however you call it. So I'm just saying it's the ability to focus, its ability to work, its ability to move, and its ability to think. That's what I'm calling the energy, right? So by expressing myself very often, I gave away my energy. And he said to me, if you want to perform at 100% in racing, you should actually take care what you do before racing, before that before the start. Because I'm particularly my person, I am giving away too much. And I started to realize that it works. Especially it works because the energy bar, if you have a tough day, the energy won't be the same next day. So you won't be able to replace it, won't be able to be replaced, and it won't be able to be the same amount. So if you have a tough day, and then it's like exhausting day because you had 4 races on the water in strong conditions, then on the 5th day, your energy bar will be very, very thin, right? So you also need to know, okay, this is the day when I just need to focus only on racing. Nothing else matters. Just to breathe, meditate, get that energy bar and push it inside racing. And there is a video, please click on it and let's see it. How to increase your daily energy moving. Video, please.
So there is no videos.
I asked you in the beginning, have you prepared videos? You said yes. So that green thing over there, that green, how to increase your energy, that's a link to a video and you should be able to click it. Even though it's PDF, it doesn't matter. You should be able to click it. And then you will be directed to a page. So you're not prepared. And that's bad because those 2 videos I've put in, they are important to me. I want them to show, to say this. Okay, go to another slide then. Courage to act. You see? So, for example, now flexibility. I was prepared in the morning when I woke up. I was prepared. I will have that video, right? I will have the video. I can show it to you, and you will be able to understand what's the energy bar by a very nice professional person. And now I don't have it, so I can be either like very upset and blah, or I can just go on. So I choose to go on, right? Because there's no point in getting upset and so on. So that's the flexibility. Even though I had the picture how it's going to look like, something happened, and it may happen every day at any moment. So you just can, either way, you can be upset by it, or you can just, okay, and go your way. So courage to act, the believe in your own capabilities. So I will do it. I will do it. I will make it. I'm good enough. If I'm not good enough at the moment, I will learn, I will gather experience, and I will be good enough to do it at some point. Acceptance. You have to accept that there is risk in any action. And you cannot be afraid of making decisions. You cannot. Trusting and following your heart is how you should deal with all your life. Because if you are not making decisions, if you are afraid to act, if you are afraid of what is going to happen if you make a decision, then you will be staying in one point. You will not experience life. You will not feel those different tastes. You will not get better in what you're doing because you will be staying in the same spot. People who are going forward, who are improving, they're making decisions. They have that courage to make decision and then follow the decision with their mind, heart, and the body. Passion and living a full life, experiencing being devoted to chosen path. I find it, I've approached a couple of people in my life who were very passionate, and that changed everything. It's just, you can see it in their eyes that they have those sparks. They are just alive. They know what they are talking about. They are very active. They are pushing. They are, if they need, they're waking up in the morning earlier to make that happen, to make their goals happen. And the passion can be, it doesn't have to be sailing. It can be anything. It's just that passion is giving that additional taste for your life. It gives that, it can be a hobby, but it's something for you that you actually cherish and you actually want to improve in. It can be study, it can be medicine, can be computers, whatever. It's just that people who are actually passionate about something feel better. They go through life in, you can be passionate about sharing, not sharing, but offering yourself to others, like Gandhi, right? He was a passionate man, for sure. So passionate people inspire other people, and then the world becomes a better place. Next slide, please. Next slide, please. Okay, that's particularly now it's particularly for sailing, because during the day you won't be doing it. I don't think you will be doing it, at least. But for sailing, it helps. So remember, we chatted about mistakes. We chatted about courage, believing in yourself, right? And the flexibility. But what if you actually don't know that you're making a mistake, or you don't know what is frustrating you? You maybe know, but you are not making it clear. So you think you can deal with it, you think you can improve it without actually pointing it. So weakness list is good. And it's not to make you sad, it's not to make you feel bad, it's completely the opposite. So because you can actually take it on your chest, because you want to improve, so you are pointing out what bothers you. Example, like, I get really angry when my teammate is late for racing. So you are punctual, but your crew comes late, and that gets you are getting frustrated. So it's good to know, it's good to point that out, because every day you make that same mistake, every time you go through, you're gonna get angry. So what's the point? You can actually chat about it, right? You can actually make a difference. I have trouble getting my thoughts back together after bad start. Probably many people has trouble if you have a very bad start, right? So then it has to be in seconds that you actually go again. Okay, you see what's happening and you continue your good path, good racing. I mean, you get to the fresh wind and so on. But some people maybe don't. They don't have that problem. If you do, again, point that out. Find a solution. For example, to me as a coach now, if you give me the last example, I hated when coach talks about my mistakes directly after racing. So you may be, for example, if I'm a coach and I want to give you a couple of tips for the next race, but I'm pointing it out as a mistake, like, because you did that, it gets you frustrated, like very, very angry. You can't take it. You feel that you are just stuck inside yourself and it doesn't help. You need to tell me that. You need to tell your coach, you need to tell yourself, right? So next day, we're gonna forget about the race. We're gonna make a strong barrier and we're gonna just talk about the future. If that helps, right? But that weakness is good. For me, personally, again, my biggest weakness was the flexibility. One of the biggest weakness was the flexibility. Oh my goodness, believe it or not, but I was so fixed to my plan. I will give you an example. We had a plan to go on the water 45 minutes before racing, right? We are going as planned, 45 minutes, exactly launching on the water. But then what happens is that the Jenaker, when we hoist up the Jenaker, the halyard is wrong, right? The halyard is not attached correctly. I got furious. I was just tilt. I wasn't even able to think of course in the beginning, before I started to work on it. But I was like very, 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 very mad because I planned and we will use that time for checking sides, looking at the wind, and so on. So the flexibility in my personal approach was big trouble. For you, it might be something else. It might be a particular thing which you will find very frustrating, very difficult to get through. So until you point out the things which impact your mental stability, you won't be able to fight them. You won't be able to see them. Make a plan and visualize improved reactions to frustrating scenarios. Oh, that helps. Or that helps. That helps a lot. So you visualize yourself in the situation which you don't like, and you find the ways. You find the ways to actually to go through that moment, that difficult moment. And then whenever it happens, you try those things. That thing, this thing, that thing. And if it works, beautiful, because then it will mean you can go by that difficult moment with less stress. Prepare the best solutions to counter your inner demons. So again, whatever problem there is, whatever is not easy, point it out, visualize, and confront that thing. Talk with your coach, mentor, friend, or family to share your feelings and anxieties. Hear their advice. They might help you solve problems. It's never good to keep everything in yourself. Whenever you have a problem, it's good to share it. It's good to talk about it. Of course, to people who listen, right? To people, you don't have to go everywhere and say, I have a problem, I have a problem, I have a problem. It's just that you trust some person, mother, father, maybe your teammate, and you can share, like, listen, I have a problem. And then that person will actually hear you out. It's going to be much better for you than to keep it inside. And the last tip, create safety words or signs. That's good. That's something that worked for me as well. Can you imagine that I had a gum around my waist like this, gum. And whenever I got in tilt, I was like angry. During racing, I got that gum and I shut my hand with the gum. That was my sign. That was my sign of, okay, stop it. Stop the thinking, whatever you're thinking. Stop the bad thoughts. Go, right? Me and Jack, we also had that word like anchor. So by saying anchor and go, it means we are dropping the topic. Anchor, anchor, go, 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 go. So it means we are not actually discussing whatever we are discussing. Finish it, done. Focus on the race, and we will talk about it later on when the time comes. Because sometimes during the race, you make a bad rounding, right? You make a bad rounding, sales on that day, and you are starting to, it's your fault, I did that, you should be doing it, You're losing time. You're losing a lot of time, you're losing places, you're losing meters. So then one person should say, anchor, 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 go, 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 anchor, go. And suddenly, after, of course, work, after practice, it will work for both of you. So one will be, da, 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 anchor, okay, go. And it works. It really does make a difference. You can, if you are single dinghy, gum, whatever is good for you, but you can find those things which will help you focus. So which will help you lose that ballast away. Forget, make a wall, it's done. And now I'm focusing on the good thing. Next slide, please. That's an advice particularly between racing. Between racing or when you are waiting in the training, when you have a break, right? So individual actions which you can use to get back on the track. So you are very frustrated after race. even you try it and so on, you feel bad, you feel stressed. So you can find things. I think Harshita asked me about it in one of the presentations. What can we do to forget about the bad feelings? So those are examples that you can, of course, find your own. What I was doing, I told you, I was massaging my face because it helped me. It released the stress on my face, on the eyes especially. So I was making a massage. I was doing this gesture of focus. So I was actually like sitting a little bit and okay, I will do it. I will make it. It's gonna happen. Next race is gonna be our race. I'm gonna focus. We're gonna try and so on. Visualization. So I was remembering the good moments, trying to get on the best performance track mentally, right? Might be a handshake, so yes, good. Or a fist bump, like, yeah, we're gonna make it. It's good now. Or muscle stretch, so you can make push-ups, you can do whatever you like, whatever helps you. You can close your eyes, sit on the rib of the coach for 1 minute, right? Remember that the coach, at some point, the coach has to help you in the way that you want it to be helped. So it's not that you will approach, it shouldn't be like that. That you are approaching the rib and coach is just blah, 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 and you are not even listening. No. At some stage, you are responsible for your mental approach, for your mental performance. So you need to do whatever helps you to do. Whatever helps you to get that difficult moment through. So you need to say, I was saying to my coach, okay, thanks, thank you. Now I need 1 minute. And I was doing whatever I wanted to do to make myself get back on the track. Jack did the same. Of course, if you are the best of the best and you are very like Peter Belling and Blair Took, or you are 4 times Olympic champion, then you don't have maybe that kind of trouble and problem because you already did that so many times and it's not for you. But if for us, for me, for you, I think whatever you do to help is important. However, you can make yourself become focused, sharp, and composed. It's good. Next slide, please. Success gestures. Very important thing. Because I will give you example with those pictures. Each of that pictures remind me of something, right? Like even the picture with Harshita on the laser, I wasn't there with her, but when I looked at her, I remember when she was happy to give me that picture, that she was like, yeah, sure, take it. And I remember that emotion, that positive feedback. I asked her, can I use that picture inside my presentation? She was, yeah, sure. You want more? It's positive. So it has a positive impact. Whenever you have what it can be different for you. For me, this is the example which worked for me, right? So moments, it's actually a moment which helped me to remind myself about the good feelings I felt then, right? So you are doing a difficult day, it doesn't work for you. So it's good to remind yourself how you felt in the day where you actually won, right? And you are trying to visualize and transfer that good emotions now. Okay. It's still not the end of the day. It's still one more race. Now I'm going to do it now. I'm going to make it done. Okay, next slide. Comfort zone. Okay, this is a little bit underestimated. This is a little bit underestimated topic. It's not easy to believe in that because I think what we discussed until now, those are facts. There's nothing special in it. I mean, it might be special because we are actually pointing that out, but you can get to that as well. If you work, you will get at some point after month, year, you will, okay, that works, this is good, blah, blah. But comfort zone here, you really need to believe that it works the way. So, because to get out of the comfort zone, it means you will feel not always the good emotions. You will feel pain, you might be frustrated, and so on and so on, like in physical training. If you just go and jog, right? If you just go and jog 10 minutes in the morning, will it impact your stamina or your health? For sure, of course, your joints, of course. But for a sportsman, does 10 minutes of slow jog in the morning helps? Not really, right? You have to go through 1 hour of training, heart rate 80%, and so on. So you are getting out of the comfort zone, and then you are getting that learning zone, and you're getting that growth zone, right? So comfort zone is a very small zone. It can be everywhere, in business, in life, in family. Like even I will give you an example, even a parent and a kid, right? So for parents to confront a kid, sometimes it's not easy. Or for example, you're coming back after work and you are tired, you are a parent, and you see that your kid is not behaving well, or he's not doing his homework. So what you should do as a parent maybe is sit with the kid, give him your time, spend your time with the kid to learn, to teach him something, or to tell him that his behavior is not well, he should change it. But the comfort zone is actually to take a pilot and boom, switch on TV and give a phone to the kid, right? So that's what I mean by comfort zone. So you're not actually pushing yourself to get more. You're good with what you have, and it's fine. So in sport, however you approach your life, comfort zone is fine sometimes. I mean, I'm not saying you have to push all the way through your life and you have to get out of the comfort zone every time. No. But in sport, if you won't get out of the comfort zone, you won't be able to get better. You won't be able, you will be good. You will be okay, good, but you won't be very good. Every time, every sportsman will tell you that very good means pain. It's painful. But as we discussed, pain is not a bad thing, because you can get actually motivated by pain, and you can get satisfaction by pain, enjoy, and so on. So it's just about working with those emotions. It's not like getting out of the comfort zone always means, oh my God, we're gonna get, oh my, no. Because there is some pain, but then comes reward. Then comes a reward. Okay, so leave the zone to experience different tastes of life. We talked about it. A taste of life means if you're gonna get only in comfort zone, you won't feel bitterness, sadness, right? But because you don't feel sadness, maybe you feel less joy, or you won't feel that relief, or find your own story. But life taste, it's not that bad emotion is bad. It also teaches you something. So you can grow as a person by approaching it. Do not be afraid to act. We discussed. Even now you have an example. Let's assume you want to stay strong and healthy, right? You want to stay healthy during a day. Easy, right? No, you want to, I mean, everybody, especially now in quarantine and coronavirus, like, we want to stay healthy. We don't want to get that virus. We don't want to spread it to our family. But what does it mean? Healthy, you think, some people may think, oh, I am healthy right now. But it's not enough. To accomplish that small dream as staying healthy every day, you will have to read and acquire knowledge, because you need to know what to do. Spend time, for example, in the kitchen preparing meals, right? Because buying fast food and buying thing on the street, it's not healthy. It's not healthy because you don't know what they put in it, what ingredients are, and so on and so on. So you need to spend your time in the kitchen. You need to hydrate your body. You need to think about how you drink, when you drink, and what do you need to drink. Keep the hygiene. So wash your hands. Don't put it on your mouth, right? Like, don't. You have to think about it. You have to give an effort. Train smart. Avoid injuries and strengthen your mind, because that's also healthy. So because if your mind is dull, you won't be able to get that healthy level. So it suddenly, just staying healthy means getting out of the comfort zone a lot. Because comfort zone is ordering pizza, ordering fast food, right? And telling to your kid, hey, give me a beer from the fridge. Give it. And you are just sitting on the couch, right? Doing nothing. So that's comfort zone. Whenever you really want to stay healthy, you need to set your mind on it. So that's an example. What I mean by that comfort zone. Next slide, please. Peaceful Warrior, that's a movie, and that's also a book, A Way of Peaceful Warrior. You have an example. It's the book is written by Dan Millen. I strongly suggest you read it or you watch the movie. It helps. It actually changed my way of thinking, because I realized what matters. And it's a cool movie. It's a very low budget American, but if you look inside the movie and you look for the things, as for example, become the present, there are no ordinary moments, the journey is what brings us happiness, not the destination. So until when you read it now, it may sound very sophisticated or like very, very smart, and you don't know actually what it's all about. But when you see the movie, you will understand. And it's those examples here, are particularly for you to see the movie, because you will understand I hope you will understand a couple of important things. I like the last one. So the secret of change is to focus all your energy not in fighting the old, so hitting your head in front of the wall and keep repeating your mistakes and keep doing the same, but it's actually about building the new. So simple, but again, mentally very challenging. Next slide, please. Couple of cool, I don't know if you know, so we are finishing almost. Couple of cool phrases. On the left, you have a yes man. Maybe you've seen the movie Yes Man. It's with Jim Carrey, if I'm correct. And actually, that movie was also about, it was made because of the book. And on the left, you can see the true yes man. And he's a cool guy. He's a very cool guy who inspired many people in the world. And why say no? Why be closed? Why not to be open? Why not to experience life? So he's sharing that kind of motivation, which you don't have to believe in or you don't have to go with, but it is actually, I sometimes, especially when I was younger, I sometimes found that rule, say yes, a good thing. Example, especially now in the computer timing. So I heard many times, make good contacts, go with people, meet friends, stay positive. Like staying positive is also about meeting nice people, right? Chatting. So I got a call from my friend. We're on the regatta. Hey mate, we are going on tea, or no, we're going for dinner. Would you like to join? And then you're at the moment playing some game, right? And you're like, I don't want to go. No. But if you stay true with that rule, yes, then you know that you should go. You should say that yes in the moment. So you turn off the phone and you are saying, yes, I will go. And suddenly, surprisingly, you go, in the beginning, you feel like, nah, I don't know, you don't know if you want to go, but you say yes, you go. And after that dinner, you feel so relieved. You feel so happy because you spent 2 hours with your friends. You met some new people. You met a girl, right? And so on and so on. So saying yes gives you opportunities. Okay, cool phrases. 2 by my professor. Professionalism is not an act of coincidence. Passion gives birth to professionalism, and professionalism produces high quality. High quality is a luxurious thing in life. It's a very deep one. It's very, very deep. The other one, if your actions are not effective, it means that the truth you are operating with is not present anymore and has to be updated. It's particularly cool and particularly good for, especially for people who think they know. Look how the world is changing. The world is changing every year. Something new approaches. Sailing is changing, right? Foiling. Suddenly we start to foil. It's soon maybe only foiling classes will be there. So everything's go forward. And if you will stay with your knowledge from 15 years back, then how can you actually say something smart about what's happening at the moment if you're not updating your what was it? Truth. So if you're not updating the truth you are actually operating with, it's a good example. Screw it, let's do it. It's from Richard Branson, so the yes man. Now, Winston Churchill, success consists of going from failure to failure without loss of enthusiasm. I particularly, because you have plenty of those, right? Phrases you can just type motivation phrases and you will find plenty, hundreds. But again, those are the one that I believe in, and those are the one that work for me at least. So you can find yours. If you, whatever is good for you, fine, find it, find your own. If there is no place for courage, that's also from my professor. It's unfortunately he said it in Polish, and in Polish it also has rym, so it sounds cool, but in English I translated it in English. I hope you will understand. If there is no place for courage in your life, then other virtues may lose matter. Knock, knock, fear knocks to the door. Courage opens, and there's no one there. I find it also entertaining to read that one. And the last one: winner never quits, a quitter never wins. You won't be able to win if you don't act. You won't be able to approach your dreams, accomplish your goals if you will be a quitter. You have to fail, rise again, fail, rise again, and at some point the failure will change into success. You will become a winner. Next slide, please. This is the last one, and I hope, can you actually click the movie? Will it work this time? If you get your mouse on the link, one of my favorite motivation speeches movie, can you actually get it? Okay. No, it's but if you actually will, so let's
Don't have some time. Just send me the link, or send me the link, and let me see what we can do. If you really want to play it,
let's keep, because it's 1 hour. So you see, boys and girls, you see, sorry, you see what I'm saying, right? I wanted to show you. If you want to change the world, start off by making your bed. If you will type in YouTube, making my bed, motivation speech, you will surely approach this gentleman, and you can see on your own, it takes only 6 minutes. 6 minutes, but for me, and I hope it will also inspire you a little bit, because it's very deep, and it had a particularly big impact on my approach, not only in sport but also in life. Because what really matters are the small things. And look how many people complain about politics, world, and so on. Example: people are complaining that our climate is changing. But are you on your own? Am I doing anything to change it? Like, am I actually segregating the plastic? Am I trying not to use plastic bottles or reuse it? Like, I'm using that bottle since I arrived in India. One, plastic. Yes, it's plastic, but I didn't have a glass one, but I'm using it all the time. So your own actions first. You don't look at other action, other people, other companies, politics, and so on. You try to stay true to your own and accomplish small things. If you are going to make small things work, then you will be able to achieve bigger ones. Um, how can you get an Asian championship title if you cannot make yourself a dinner? How can you be uh, successful in business, right, if you don't know how to talk to people, and so on and so on? Small things that actually matters in life, and then you can, by making small things happen, you can confront the bigger adversities. Thank you very much. And now the questions, if you have any.
Thanks, Tom. That was a lot of energy, and I love that peaceful warrior slide which you had. And one can't underestimate the importance of motivational books and movies. I think every little input into a sailor or an athlete counts a lot. There are so many movies which are available now. For example, One in a Million. It's about Satnam Singh, who's pretty much got into the NBA, the only Indian to ever done that. Lagan, Dangal, Chak De India, Bhag Milka Bhag, Iqbal, um, Pan Singh Tomar, Mary Kom, Surma. There are lots and lots of movies out of India with some absolutely fantastic stories which people can watch. And I recommend that everybody watches these, and especially before a championship. It kind of gets your heart, gets you really motivated. So the first question which I have is, how do you inculcate focus and perseverance? It's actually two questions. How do you inculcate focus and perseverance in sailors as a coach?
But how do you calculate?
Inculcate. How do you get sailors to focus, and how do you get sailors to persevere, which means to really want to win?
For a sailor, I think if some of you watched the sail coach also presentations, they had two Olympian sailors from laser. One was just recently, now on Tuesday, was Lily Shong, and she was training on Optimus since she was 10, and that's actually showing how much effort you need to make and how much work you need to do to accomplish your goals. So focus and motivation comes from within, because whenever you want something really and you understand what you need to do, then you are only going to make yourself better. So I'm not saying by that today presentation also, I think you can see that it's not about putting a goal. I want to be Olympic champion, and there is that want. So I want to be Olympic champion, and if I'm not going to be, I'm going to be sad, and so on. No, it's about your way that you make. So your amount of focus, amount of effort that you do every day to get closer to that goal. And for the for the coaches, it's particularly learning. And in my personal experience, if a coach says he already knows something, like for sure, then I will get again to remember to that thing we just discussed about the truth. So the sailing is changing, life is changing. It's very good to go with the flow. Sailors is the same. So it's good to learn all the time, because if you're gonna read books, just recently, I read a book about meteorology, which put a different perspective on my cloud approach. And I realized it happens it happens quite a lot. So now, when I had more time, I'm reading more and I'm learning even more than before. And I'm realizing that I wasn't aware when I was a sailor. Not so aware, right? So every book, every movie, whatever you do, it's getting you closer. It's getting you just better. So that focus, it's also a thing which you have to master, because it's not there for sure. It's not like I'm going to focus and it's done. Because if you're just going to go like this, you're going to focus for 5 minutes max. Racing takes 1 hour and you have 3 races per day. So you need to work, you need to learn, you need to experience to master the focus for each race and for each amount of time that you actually wanted to. And that's a little bit connected to the brain exercises which we discussed, right? So the brain and the focus, they're connected. Because even now, when you take a book and you start to read, will you remember after 1 hour of reading, will you remember everything? For sure not. So more you read, your mind gets more sharp and it's easier for you to remember, to focus, and to approach racing.
Thanks. I could add to this, and then one of the points that came up from Farooq Tarapur was that the sailors, the athletes need to continuously ask in the morning. You're going to ask the same question: why am I doing this? I mean, in the morning you're going to be probably getting up at 4:35, going to the gym, having your supplements and having your fruit and lime juice and whatever, and then you go through the day with theoretical exercises. You're on the water, hiking like crazy. At every stage, it's probably important, as Farooq says, that you need to ask yourself, why am I doing this? For what reason? And the answers keep coming through, and the answers from the same sailor, I think, keeps maturing with time. And at some stage, the sailor finally figures that I'm doing this only to win. And the whole focus is to win a championship or win a regatta or to come up on the top of their heap. So asking yourself this question is also very important. Why am I doing this? Okay, question.
That's a very good one. So if you allow me to add, because the answer may, as you also said, the answer will vary with age, but by mental strength and by what we discussed today, we want to get to a point when you answer that question with confidence that I'm doing it because I want it. That's my goal. Nobody else. So not my parents, not my coach, not my club authority and so on. It's my dream. I'm hiking because I want to hike, because I want to win nationals and I want to get better. And I'm doing my bed every morning because I want to be precise and I know it's important. I am saying good morning and goodbye to people because I respect them and I want to make them know that I respect them. So it's about the awareness in your mind that answer, exactly the answer for a question, why am I doing it? It comes from your heart and from your brain.
Okay, this is a question for coaches. And how do coaches align themselves with the thinking of sailors and vice versa? Very often you have coaches who say, for example, something like go left and the sailor actually goes right. Now, the consequences of that could be, serious loss. On occasion, it could also be that, Yeah, I'm sure if a good coach is probably 2 out of 10 times, he ends up in being a gain also. So how do you deal with sailors who continuously do exactly the opposite, and how do you deal with situations where the sailor has actually come out on top despite doing exactly the opposite of what the coach has told them?
So first of all, as a coach, I would never tell my sailor to go left or right, because in 5 minutes, after 5 minutes, when I say go left, after 5 minutes, situation may change completely. So it's not effective. But it's good. So I'm trying to show my sailors, and I'm trying to make it the way that they are. I'm giving them examples, and I'm showing them what can be done, how it should be done, and I'm always open. And thanks to that, actually, I'm also learning as a coach. So if your communication with a sailor goes, go to the left, you're saying go to the left, right? Or make that happen. You need to pull the kicker. So the sailor will pull the kicker, okay, and he will go to the left. But what happens if the gust is not there? Or what happens if the wind completely dies? So the kicker will be there as well, because the sailor will not know that he has to release it in the lull. So what's the point in making that kind of communication? It's very, very bad, and it's only frustrating. So I think it's much better to evolve as a coach and as a sailor, to understand, to find answers to questions. So if a sailor asks a coach a question, why am I doing it? So the answer should be very precise. It should be an explanation. It should never be because you have to do it. And it doesn't improve a sailor's mind, and it doesn't it's not cooperation. So I advise strongly to make good communication and very open. So chat about things, chat about doubts, and discuss. Sailor has to be its own effective machine. So when you are on the water, you are on your own. There is no coach. Coach is there at some point. Coach is there to give you that fist bump and say to you, don't worry, you're going to make it. And that's sometimes enough for the coach, because sailor knows exactly what he needs to do to prepare for the race and to go in the race, and so on and so on. Sometimes the coach is just for that fist bump, right? But to get to that point, it's a long, long way, and it's a lot of work.
Okay, so two messages here. One is a coach needs to know when to stop advice, and the other message is that sailors need to learn how to think for themselves, even without the coach.
So just to that same, because you are helping me, thank you. I'm sorry, it's it's sometimes I'm trying to make it simple, but I'm just
Sure.
Making it too. So exactly what you said. So if I would add, if a sailor doesn't want to improve on his own, then there's nothing the coach can do. Nothing, because if I tell him to go left, it will not change a thing that sailor doesn't want to actually win that race. Because if you want to win, you will not ask your coach, which side should I go? You will ask the coach questions like what direction the wind is, what the current is, and so on and so on. So the difference in approach.
There's a question from Alok of NSS Bhopal. How can we avoid nervousness before the first race of the regatta? Actually, it could be before any race, but definitely how can you avoid nervousness? What's the best thing to do?
So as we discussed today, you find it a little bit more aware. Okay, so the stress is there. It will always be there. It will not be able to cut it completely. You need to learn to work with it. So you shouldn't be afraid of it. Stress will come. That emotion will appear. It's just how you deal with it. So actually, are you actually going to take it and still go do your job, or that stress will just decrease your performance and your mind will get dull? So that's the difference. More you talk about it, more you are aware. Remember that weakness list, it's also for that. Because if you see at the weakness list, if you look at it, you will know that these things get me angry, this is stressful, and so on and so on. And more you repeat it, it will ease your mind. So when it actually happens, you know that it happens. So you will be prepared, and it's not going to be a surprise. It's not going to be very, oh my, you know it's happening. So it happens every time before every race. So it's how you approach it, how you learn to deal with it.
Great. So to add to that, I think an optimal amount of stress is actually sometimes a good thing. And if you can convert that into high energy and
Exactly.
motivation, it's fantastic. So stress is not something, it's not really an enemy. You probably just need to learn how to deal with it. And like he said, take it in the chin. Question is from Lakshmi of YCH. Uh, what exercise do we do? Is there any physical exercise or mental exercise one can do to handle stress and tension?
No, those examples of remember individual actions you can take to get back on the track. So that's my advice for you. What you can do to get the stress amount less, to get back on focus performance. I mean, get back on the track. So you can either make massages, you can make some muscle stretching, you can do a lot, but it has to be divided between the things you can do on shore and the things you can do on the water. On the water, you don't have too much time. So it should be very, for you, that has to be very important. Whatever you do on the water, like, is it, even if it's a massage, so you know it really works for you. If it's that fist pump, or if it's repeating with this like hand stretch, whatever helps you, you will not have too much time. But on the shore, you can meditate, and meditation is one of the best things you can do, not only for sailing, but also in your life. So I really, really advise meditating, yoga, listening to calming music, listening to stories. I gave you a couple of applications advices as well in previous presentations. So you can use them to actually increase your calm and increase your focus, inner self awareness.
One last question for the day, and that is, if a sailor, this is for coaches actually, if a sailor has had a bad race, and what is the coach's approach between the races to drive the motivation back into the sailor's heart and to kind of try and put the bad race behind him or her?
That's I think when you said that we should ask the question, sailors should ask the question, right? Why am I doing it? Why am I hiking, and so on? So coach should ask the question, what should I do? How can I improve my relation with my sailor? What does he need? And unfortunately, it's not easy. And I think that's one of the most frequent questions the coach should ask, because each sailor is an individuality, right? So for one sailor, that fist bump works. For other sailor, you cannot say about mistakes in the race. For the other sailor, maybe it's good when you are a little bit like, hey, don't worry, do it. Screw it, let's do it. Focus about next race. So it's not easy to give one way for every single sailor. You have to develop a relationship with sailors and find what works for each. That's why time is crucial. That's why when the coach comes, like I think I'm quite a good example. When I came here to India, I wasn't able to tell how can I actually talk to my sailor teammates, because I didn't know if they want me to be energetic. I didn't know if they like if I am saying, hey, you did a mistake. Or maybe they wanted to hear, it was a very good job, but you can change it. So that relation is a thing which coach has to work every day on and develop it and improve it, because better it gets. So in the end, what we want to get is that the coach in the end exactly knows what's in the head of the sailor, and he can adjust his response, because maybe today the sailor is very energetic, right? And we want to make him a little bit more calm, a little bit more focused. So we know him, we know the sailor. And sometimes maybe we see that he's like completely out of, his mind is just drifting. He's not focused. So we want to give him that, hey, come on, today is that bad day for you, for your mind. You know it, so focus. But it's very difficult to tell exactly. So you have to, the coach has to ask that question very often, for sure.
Okay, guys, I think we've come to the end of the presentation. Thanks, Tom. As usual, spectacular job. And guys, please register onto the WhatsApp link which I have sent everybody. And that's how, over a period of time, we will be allowing only those who are on the group to attend. And thanks very much, everybody. And I request a lot more participation. Please answer the poll which I'm about to launch. And here you are. Thanks, guys.
Thank you. See you next Tuesday. Have a good time. Stay healthy. And remember that the time of our lockdown is hopefully getting shorter, smaller. So soon we'll go on the water. Again, hopefully, use the time. Stay on the track. Stay positive. See you soon.
So Sunday, there's going to be no, for those of you who are still here, Sunday, there's going to be no presentation. We start on Tuesday again.